rise, you are going to sign prayer followed by pledge of allegiance. Tonight, as we reflect in the moment of silent prayer, when a community loses any member, it has an effect. But within the last few days, one of our members of the community that was really outstanding has passed on to be with his life element and, of course, with his maker. Please remember Mr. Sekach, who passed away in your reflections. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Before we sit, if I can ask you to remain standing. As we know, our nation is going through some really challenging times. We witnessed this with the killing of American citizens, especially in the law enforcement area. We need to continue to pray for our nation. And tonight we're going to have reflections by Councilman Bill Magna, reflecting on those challenges of people that are protecting our freedom and our rights. Mr. Bill Magna.
Thank you, Mayor. A part of America died. Somebody killed a policeman today, and a part of America died. A piece of our country he swore to protect will be buried with him at his side. The suspect that shot him will stand up in court with counsel demanding his rights, while a young widowed mother must work for her kids and spend many long, lonely nights. The beat that he walked was a battlefield too, just as if he'd gone off to war. Though the flag of our nation won't fly at half-mast, to his name they will add a gold star. Yes, somebody killed a policeman today, in your town or mine. While we slept in comfort behind our locked doors, the cop put his life on the line. Now his ghost walks a beat on a dark city street, and he stands at each new rookie's side. He answered the call, of himself gave his all, and a part of America died.
Thank you. You may be seated. The purpose of this meeting is to bring forth legislation. Oh, I'm sorry. Roll call.
Mr. Dressel?
Here.
Mrs. Vaughn? Here. Mr. Johnson?
Here.
Mr. Powell?
Aye. Here.
Mr. Tibbins?
Here.
Mr. Villamagna?
Here.
Mr. DeLoretto?
All members of council are here in the county board. The purpose of this meeting is to bring forth legislation that will be considered by city council at a future date. With that, we'll start off with Mr. Dressel. Thank you, Mr. Dressel. Mrs. Vaughn?
I just wanted to make one mention. Several people came to help with putting a new garden in front of the newly painted sign at the north end park. And a number of weeks ago, I had a call. 3 women requested that I come down to the park to meet them because they were one's always doing that. Louise and Terry and Diane. We really looked over things and came up with ideas of what needed to happen. The city manager was very responsive, and we began that process of turning this park around. What I'm so grateful for is the academic dean of Franciscan University not only worked on the volunteer day, but then took part of the sign that was falling apart and got the new wood, primed it, painted it, repainted the letters, and put the sign back up. And then I called Diane, and she and Terry and Louise joined me along with Maddie and her husband Melvin, Gretchen Nelson, Frank, and one of the granddaughters. And we worked really, really hard for a couple of hours. That was not good soil, but I'm so grateful that they came. It was a really broad community effort for our city park, and I want to thank them personally for that.
Thank you, Ms.
I also want to move that we consider moving our regular meeting to an earlier your time on August 9th so that we can have the presentation by the Heritage Ohio people. We're going to have that meeting at Fralix from 6 to 8, and I'm asking whether or not we might be able to have council meeting at 5:30 at Fralix.
I second that.
It's been regularly moved to second that the sunshine meeting that is scheduled for August 9th at 7:30 be moved to 5:30, and the location will be moved to Fragrance Classic Corner. Following the sunshine of legislation and public forum, we will move them into the DART presentation. Roll call.
Mr. Dressel?
Aye.
Mrs. Vaughn?
Aye.
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Hall?
Aye.
Mr. Timmons?
Aye.
Mr. Romagna?
Aye.
Mr. DiLoretto?
Aye, keep it in short.
So moved. We will move the council meeting of August 9th to 5:30 p.m. Fragrance Classic Corner. And before we moved on, I know earlier in our committee report, you had reported on the activities on August 9th and the 10th. The August 10th breakfast that's scheduled for 7:45 at Fralix. There is a small charge to cover some of the costs and all, $15 per person. But anybody that is interested, and we're going to have more information here in the near future, could call Fralix Classic Corner to make their reservation, and the deadline for those reservations is August 2nd, and everyone needs to make a reservation, including the members council that plan on attending the breakfast, so we can have a good head count. We'll move on to Mr. Johnson.
Yes, Your Honor. Out of planning on sunshine ordinance repealing existing section 711, 97.08, and enacting a new section 1197.08 of the rental housing code. The purpose behind this is a year or two ago, we changed the rental registration from a 4-year period to a 2-year period. Well, this one section got overlooked, and it still says 4 years in this one section. So this will change it to coincide with the rest of the section and make it a 2-year period.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. We'll continue on to Mr. Paul.
Yes, Your Honor, I have one on this council as a whole. That's a resolution of commendation to our former utilities delinquency board. I want to thank them for their years of service. That's it, Your Honor. That's it. Pardon me? Oh, no.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Paul. We'll continue on to Mr. Timmons.
Nothing to see.
Thank you, Mr. Timmons. Mr. Billmack.
Yes, Mayor. As council as a whole, a resolution of commendation to the volunteers who worked on the new entrance signs for the city of Steubenville and Frankie, like we decided with the resolution, but then separate certificate, so it's not 30 here or whatever the amount of resolution, that's a little bit too much. But we'll give everybody a certificate.
A certificate of yes.
Okay. And under safety committee, which Willie's the chairman and I'm on the committee, and we both worked on it, and Willie asked me to bring it in, is an ordinance creating a residential permit parking zone on Canterbury Boulevard and declaring an emergency. And we can talk about that next week at the regular meeting before we do it, if everybody's on board with that, and explain the reasoning behind it.
Yeah, as long as, we had talked about getting neighborhood input and all that.
As I was just reading this, I got a text message, and that was the last of the neighbors that confirmed that they're all in favor of it. So,
Yeah, as long as we explain that before we vote, yes.
okay.
I think our law director, did you send out communications on this?
Yeah. Well, we can't do the reading.
Good. Thank you, Mr. Bill Magna. We'll continue on to Mr. Guerrero.
No report.
Thank you, Mr. Guerrero. That will conclude the sunshining of legislation. City Council, we will now move into public forum. Is there anyone wishing to speak to City Council or city business? Please come forward, state your name and address.
Yeah, Frank Calabria, 3975 Oregon Avenue. I've been dealing with a neighbor up the street for 6 or 8 years, high grass, garbage dump. Mr. Pascarella, about 6 or 7 years ago, went there, and he said, up to condemn his house if you don't clean it up. That's been a while ago. That might have helped a little bit, but then he went back to a dump. Last year, Officer Scott, he dealt with it, he went to court, cost whatever, $250, $300, paid it. He puts, I don't know if he has water in there, I'm doing that housing conservation. My wife said, you're not going there, are you? I said, yeah, I want to see what that dump looks like. Well, I went there, and inside the door, so he went up, I didn't know what I was going to say, but anyways, I went there, and he didn't open the door, nothing, they just garbage, beer bottles, and junk. So, grass about this high in the back. He throws one bag out like he's doing something, you know, like the city ain't, well, he's throwing, there's a bag out front that's been there for months. The neighbor cuts the front yard, and her daughter, and I told her, I said, man, you know, just let it grow, so it ain't nothing. But I can see her point, I mean, try to keep her house nice, she has to keep, you know, that. But I don't know what the next step is, I think we got to.
What is the address of the home?
There's no address on it.
It's right here.
Oh, you got it. It's not on it. Yeah. Great.
3953 West Argyle.
3953 Argonne?
Yes.
West Argonne.
Frank, that's the same house with me.
Yeah, and then, like I said, Officer Scott last year, and then I give it to this.
First
Who
visit.
you gave it to, yeah, the new guy. So I don't know what's going on. I think he has another court date or something, but I'm not sure what it's like. Yeah. So I mean, I don't know what the next step is after. I mean, that's what you were kind of saying.
Great, the city manager, I know, took down 3953 West Argonne. If you could maybe after the meeting, give him your contact information, your phone number, give him an opportunity to check into it and see if they have decided if it's going to court, you know, what action we're going to take. Thank you, Mr. Manager.
Okay.
Thank you. Is there anyone else wishing to speak to City Council on city business? Please come forward, state their name and address.
Ed Clark, 34 Scenic Drive in West End. About 15, 20 minutes ago, my mind started working, and I thought to myself, I need to address some concerns that I have. I feel compelled, Counselor, you would appreciate that's a good lawyer's word, is that compelled? I'm compelled to talk about what's going on, not only here in Steubenville, but what's going on in this country. I've studied and worked in the area of human behavior for well over 50 years now. I've always preached, starting with my own children, about the responsibility they have to responding to however they're being treated, however people react and respond to them. One thing I feel compelled to talk about this evening is, having watched all of the events in Dallas over the last few days, that we also have to recognize that we are all responsible for our behavior. And our police force is responsible for how they deal with our people and our public. And I also think that there's a responsibility on the part of people who provoke our people that are trying to keep law and order in this city, in this state, and in this country. And when that one woman stood up and said, the very police that we were protesting against covered my body and protected me and my child, I think that says it all. And I think we as a city and as a council need to communicate to our police force, yes, they will make mistakes and they will react sometimes, and we would wish that they wouldn't react the way they did. But we also have to recognize in any inhuman transaction, there is a responsibility on the part of both parties. The one party who reacts, but also the party that provokes. And what I see in this country right now are a lot of people that are getting very good at provoking. And I think we've got to find a way to support those people, those men and women who are trying to uphold the law of this country and support them in terms of their reactions to the provoking of people in this country. And I just felt compelled tonight to come and say that publicly. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Clark. Is there anyone else wishing to no, Mr. Paul.
Yes, Your Honor. I make a motion to adjourn tonight's meeting.
Second.
It's been really moved and seconded that we adjourn. Roll call.
Mr. Dressel.
Aye.
Mrs. Vaughn.
Aye.
Mr. Johnson.
Aye.
Mr. Paul.
Aye.
Mr. Simmons.
Aye.
Mr. Romano.
Aye.
Mr. Gilliard.
So moved.